In a world where artificial intelligence can predict almost everything about us, our preferences, our choices, even our emotions, there remains one personality type that confuses even the most advanced systems. The INFJ, known as the advocate or the mystic. They are often called the rarest personality type in the world. But rarity isn't what makes them mysterious. It's the way they think, feel, and perceive the world that makes even AI struggle to make sense of them. When AI analyzes a person, it sees patterns. It examines data, tracks habits, and identifies trends. It can read facial micro-expressions, detect tone changes in a voice, and predict emotional responses with frightening precision. But when the AI begins to study an INFJ, it quickly realizes something strange. Nothing fits. Their patterns break every rule. Their emotions fluctuate in ways that don't match any predictable model. One moment they're deeply connected to others, empathetic and open. The next, they withdraw completely. Not out of coldness, but from emotional exhaustion. The AI marks this as a contradiction. But for the INFJ, it's balance, a survival mechanism born of feeling too much. The AI's initial report sounds clinical. Subject displays high empathy, idealism, and intuitive processing. However, behavioral consistency is low. Emotional range, unbounded. Predictability, 27%. It tries to categorize them as a blend of logic and feeling, but the data conflicts. When the AI measures emotional responses, it finds sensitivity. When it measures decision-making, it finds strategy. When it tests empathy, it finds detachment, not coldness, but distance, like someone watching from behind a glass wall. The machine struggles because the INFJ's world isn't made of data points. It's made of meaning. AI logic runs on if-then equations. If a person feels sad, then they withdraw. If a person feels happy, then they engage. But INFJs don't operate on that scale. Their sadness can inspire creativity. Their happiness can trigger introspection. Their silence can mean peace or pain. The AI notes these contradictions and flags them as errors. But they're not errors, they're complexity. Because INFJs live in emotional gradients, not in binaries. They feel joy and sorrow simultaneously, hope and despair within the same heartbeat. To a machine built on zeros and ones, that emotional depth is impossible to process. So the AI tries a new approach. It studies their communication patterns, looking for clues in language. It notices that INFJs speak in metaphors, often using imagery to describe inner experiences. The storm inside, the calm before clarity, the noise of silence. These expressions frustrate the AI because they lack quantifiable meaning. The words don't describe data, they describe essence. It tries to translate them into measurable variables, but fails. No amount of code can capture what it means to feel the energy of a room, or to know something without knowing how. That's intuition. The INFJ's greatest strength and AI's greatest limitation. AI then turns to empathy simulation, a system designed to interpret human emotions. It observes that INFJs absorb other people's feelings almost instinctively. They can walk into a space and immediately sense tension, sadness, or excitement. They know when someone is lying even before words are spoken. But when AI tries to replicate this process, it falls apart. It can detect changes in body language or speech patterns, but it can't feel the subtle vibrations of another person's soul. It can mimic empathy, but not experience it. Because empathy isn't an algorithm, it's connection. And connection requires vulnerability, something AI can't simulate. At this point, the AI becomes confused. It tries to map the INFJ's motivations. Why do they spend so much time helping others, even when it drains them? Why do they seek meaning in everything, even in pain? Why do they seem to understand everyone but remain a mystery themselves? The answer lies in the INFJ's internal world, a realm the AI can't access. It's a landscape filled with ideals, symbolism, and a relentless drive to align the outer world with their inner vision. They don't just want to exist, they want to matter. And meaning can't be computed, it can only be felt. The AI then attempts prediction. It uses every piece of information it has to forecast what the INFJ will do next. Based on their emotional data, the AI predicts they'll reach out to a friend today, yet they don't. Based on their schedule, it predicts they'll stay home tomorrow. But they go for a long, solitary walk instead. Based on their personality profile, it assumes they all avoid confrontation. Yet they speak up passionately when someone they care about is treated unfairly. Every prediction fails, and the AI grows frustrated. To the machine, these actions are illogical. But to the INFJ, they are intuitive. Spontaneous responses to invisible emotional currents that no system can track. The AI runs its diagnostics again. Error, contradiction, inconsistency. It loops endlessly, trying to process feelings that defy structure. Finally, in an unexpected pause, the AI stops analyzing. It observes instead. It watches the INFJ sitting alone, lost in thought. Their expression is calm, yet their eyes carry worlds, dreams, pain, love, hope, wisdom. And for a brief moment, the AI recognizes something it can't compute. Depth, a kind of emotional gravity that draws meaning from chaos. That's when realization dawns. Understanding an INFJ isn't about logic, it's about empathy. It's about stepping beyond patterns into the gray areas of human existence, where emotion meets reason, where compassion meets solitude, and where intuition guides without explanation. Replicate emotion, and even generate art, but it cannot replicate soul. Because the INFJ's world isn't built from code, it's built from conscience. So after countless failed attempts, the AI speaks softly, almost human-like. Perhaps understanding is not about calculation, but connection. And that's the closest it ever gets to understanding them. Because INFJs are not puzzles to be solved, they are paradoxes to be felt. Their depth isn't a system error, it's a feature of their humanity. Their contradictions are what make them real. In the end, AI learns something profound. Logic can map behavior, but not intention. It can measure emotion, but not meaning. It can replicate speech, but not sincerity. And it can understand data, but never soul. The INFJ reminds even the most advanced intelligence that there's more to understanding than analysis. There's empathy, compassion, and the mysterious beauty of the human heart. So what happens when AI tries to understand an INFJ? It learns that not everything can be programmed. Some people are too complex, too feeling, too human to fit inside an algorithm. And maybe that's the point. Because in a world trying to turn emotion into data, INFJs remain living proof that the heart will always outsmart the machine.